Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Denise and I'm from the website Creates with Love. I'm so happy to share today's project with you. Today I'll be using my Cricut Maker 3 and some smart glitter iron-on to make some really cute keychains that you could also use as purse charms. Are you ready to get started? For just a moment, I want to highlight a few details if you're new to the Cricut. Cricut is a smart cutting machine that empowers you to create amazing personalized projects with literally hundreds of different types of materials. Cricut includes for free software called Design Space. This easy-to-use software comes with hundreds of fonts and images to choose from, and where you'll see your project come to life. And once your design is ready to cut, you simply follow the prompts on the screen to cut out your project. Today we'll be making a keychain out of faux leather and glitter HTV. This is a beginner-friendly project that can be made using your Cricut Maker 3 as I am today, or you can also make the same project using one of the Cricut Explorers or even the Cricut Joy. We'll be using faux leather today and Cricut Smart Iron-On in white and gold glitter. Also, since I'm using the Cricut Maker 3, we will not need a mat to cut the smart glitter iron-on material. For this project, I'll be using a few tools, such as an optional brayer, a fine point blade that is included with your Cricut machine, a standard green mat, and finally a weeding tool to remove the excess material from your design on the glitter HTV. I also used a D-ring swivel lobster clasp and some fabric glue. In addition, I'll be using the Easy Press 2, the Easy Press mat, and a Teflon sheet. I hope you enjoyed today's video and find it helpful. At the end of the video, I'll also show you the purse charms I made as well. Let's begin our project using the Cricut Maker 3. First off, if you are just getting started with using your Cricut for the very first time, you will want to install the free software called Design Space. Simply go to https://design.cricut.com and select the download. Now you are ready to design your first project. Now that you are here on the home screen, you want to select which machine you want to use today. I'll select the Cricut Maker 3, then select New Project. Today, we'll make a simple, basic keychain by using two circle shapes and a rectangle. My plan is to put a monogram on one side and a shell image on the other side. This is where the fun begins, as you can design exactly what you want. So to get my circle, I'm going to click on Shapes on the left, and that gives me a 2-inch circle, which I'm happy with. I'm going to go ahead and click on Duplicate because I want 2 of them. Then I'm going to click Shapes again and get a square, and I can turn this into a rectangle by going up to the width and selecting 0.75, and then I'm going to select 1 inch for the height, and this gives us our rectangle. I'm going to select all 3 of these shapes and then go to the Align tool up at the top and click on Center Horizontally. This puts everything in alignment, and then if I click on Weld, it takes all of those 3 separate shapes and turns them into one solid shape. So easy. So now I'm going to Images, I'm clicking on Nature, I'm going to type in the word shell. And then I'm going to refine my search a little bit by clicking on Operation Type and click on Cut Only. And this helps refine my search and make it easier to scroll through the thousands of images that they have. And I'm going to go with this shell right here and put Add to Canvas. So here is my shell. I'm going to go ahead and turn the color of my shape closer to the color of my actual faux leather, so it doesn't do anything except for just make it easier for you to visualize your project. And you can see here I'm just sizing the shell and making it smaller, but I want the width of that shell to be a little bit thicker, so I'm using the offset tool and typing in 0.03 and hitting apply, and that thickens the stroke a little bit to make that shell a little bit wider all the way around. And then I'm going to go ahead and weld those two shapes together, and then I'm going to change the color to white, which is the color of the heat transfer vinyl that I'll be using. So you can see here I'm putting it exactly how it's going to be when I go to make it. And then now I'm going to go ahead and do my monogram. They have a ton of choices for monograms. I'm choosing the modern one, and I put in the initials that I wanted, and then you'll see me here. I'm just kind of playing around with it. This is what I love about Design Space. It's so easy. You can, play with your sizes, adjust, turn things around. You can flip them horizontally, vertically. There's so many things you can do in Design Space that makes it such a user-friendly but yet easy to use software. So here I'm just picking a circle, and because I want the MLW to kind of pop, so I'm going to put a solid color behind it, and then yet keep that gold circle just small enough, or big enough I should say, so that the shells of the faux leather is going to show through. And then once I get the size that I want, I take the two shapes, the circle and the monogram, and then I select them and I hit slice, and that slices out just like a cookie cutter, so that you can actually layer heat transfer vinyl without layering it on top of each other. Spectacular. This is an amazing, easy way to layer your own images. Everything is good to go here. I'm going to go ahead and save my project. I like it how it is. You have all different folders and collections that you can save throughout your time using Design Space, and then I'm going to click on Make It. So for this project, I'm just letting Cricut know which ones I want to cut on a mat, which ones off of a mat, and which projects need to be mirrored. And next you can review your artwork settings, and then once everything is set, it lets you know what materials you're going to use and what tools, and then click continue, and it goes right to your machine. So that's it for the design part. Isn't it amazing how easy it is to use? Now we'll be hopping right over there so we can finish cutting out our design. That's the next step in the project. Stay with me. This is so easy to do. I can't wait. Now I'm going to load my Smart Iron-On shiny side down into my Cricut machine. There's two little tabs on each side where you just line up your material, and then you click on load the arrow buttons. And once it loads and checks your material and your tools, you click on the go, which is the arrow button, and let it cut out your design. And when your design is done, you unload it. And then now you'll see, I'm just going to use a pair of scissors to trim off just what I had cut today. Depending on your project, you might want to cut the strip all the way across, but this works for me today. And just so you know, I save any of my scraps because you can always use them. Now here I'm loading the next color of the Smart Iron-On in gold, and I'm just going through the same procedure. Here I'm just updating my material and my mat settings. And then now you'll see I'm using the mat, and I'm using this brayer to put the faux leather on my standard green mat. I'm going to use the blue sticky tape. It's kind of like masking tape. And that's just to ensure that my material or that my faux leather stays secure and it doesn't wiggle. And that way I know that I'm going to get the perfect cut. You don't have to do this if it's a brand new green mat and it's super sticky. You won't need to do this, but I've used it for quite a few projects now. Next, you want to move your star wheels over to the side, and that's just so that those star wheels don't go over your pretty faux leather. And then go just like before, you want to hit load and you want to hit go, and it cuts it out so perfectly. You want to unload your machine, take that blue tape off, and you'll see what an amazing cut it made on this faux leather material. It just cuts it like butter. It is amazing. Just imagine all the projects you can make with this type of material. So now I'm going to go back to those pieces that I had, and this is the part of the weeding. I'm not going to bore you with every little piece of it, but you're basically removing everything outside of your design. So you see here, I want the shell, but I'm removing everything outside of the shell and everything on the inside of the shell. That is weeding. It is so easy to do. And then once you have all of your weeding done, you're able to assemble your project. Cricut has an awesome heat guide site where you can go through and select your material, the press, and everything that you're using, and it lets you know exactly what temperature to use. And also, if you need further instructions on how to layer your design, you can do just that. So here you see me laying my design on top of my faux leather, and then I cover it with a piece of Teflon sheet just to protect everything. And I'm going by the settings that I just learned from that heat press guide. And I have fast forwarded through this a little bit so as not to bore you, but basically you're just doing the same process for each design. And now you see me putting the white inside of that gold. Makes it so pretty. It's going to make the design pop, and it's so easy to do. Once it's cooled, we can peel off that extra carrier sheet. That is what protects everything while we're ironing. And then now we will be able to assemble the keychain. It is ready. So now all that's left is to assemble our project. So basically I'm going to roll up one side of that keychain and slip it through that D-ring. And then we just apply our glue and make sure it's all lined up. So here you see me just checking it and making sure that everything's good. I love this glue for faux leather. Just to let you know, it is amazing glue for faux leather, but for other things as well, but it's my favorite for faux leather. So I'm just getting it everywhere, kind of close to the edge, but not so much that it's going to seep over when I press it together. And this glue gives you a little bit of wiggle room, so you have time to make any quick adjustments if you need to make sure everything's lined up perfectly. You just want to kind of tap it all the way around, make sure the glue is nice and flat. And then I have this press that I like to use. It's actually for jewelry, but it's a weighted I forget what it's actually called, but I use it a lot, so it's pretty amazing. I take that and I just lay it down. It's got weight to it, and that I set it there for about an hour or two, and it's good to go. And here is the finished project, the front and the back. So cute. And then I'll show you the rest of my designs that I did as well. I love how they turned out. That's the first side. And then I'll flip them over and there's the other side. I mean, you can make them whatever size and shape you want. It's amazing. Just a fun project. There's so many different things you could do with this type of project. So cute. I love that little cow one. I really hope you enjoyed today's video and found it helpful. Be sure to let me know in the comments below if you have any questions or anything I can help you with. And until we meet again, remember to create with love. Bye.